Greetings, LA Galaxy fans. Mark Rogondino, and look who is here, Cobi Jones, for this week's CONCACAF Champions League update. The Galaxy coming off of a 5-2 win in their first game of Group 5 play against Isidro Metapan of El Salvador. Cobi, let's go back and talk about that first. Your take on the match. Obviously, a must-win for the Galaxy in order to get out to a good start in the group play.
Exactly, but when we talk about that game, the Galaxy took it like I did. It's a game that they're supposed to win. They're taking it in stride. They came out, played very well, and imposed their game on Metapan.
5 goals, you're always going to have a good chance to come away with 3 points when you're able to have that type of offensive output. But how about defensively? Giving up 2 goals in the game, and at times it looked like the defense was a little off balance from time to time.
Well, that was the one question mark that the Galaxy had. The defense, little bit of lack of composure at certain times, but when you go down a man and there's going to be those moments where the other team's going to push and you're going to give up some opportunities. And they did give up one opportunity that Metapan did score on, but overall I think they were in comfortable and control of that game.
And certainly for Bruce Arena, it's something that he can take from that match in terms of learning a little bit of how his team reacts under pressure on an international stage situations. And now they'll move forward and turn their attention to a Puerto Rico Islanders team that, yes, they lost their first game 3-1 against Isidro Metapan, but this is a team that has been notorious for doing very well against MLS clubs in this competition in the past.
Well, that's the one big, the big if factor, the you don't know factor with this team, because the Puerto Rico Islanders, they're a team that, like you said, does well against MLS sides, did very well against the Galaxy in the past, have beaten the Galaxy before. But all that being said, the Galaxy are favored. This is a very strong team that has played well over the past few months now, not only within CONCACAF Champions League in the last game, but also within league. So I think they're strong, and they have a very solid bench. They have a solid team, not just 1 through 11, but all the way through the 15 to 18, that allows them to play a lot of different players that can get results.
You would have to think that Bruce Arenas get an opportunity to look at some of those players to come off the bench, in particular if LA is able to take care of business in this game coming up on Wednesday at 7 p.m. here at the Home Depot Center against Puerto Rico, because the Galaxy have the luxury of having those first 2 games at home in the group stage. They can build up a little bit of a point lead against the 2 teams below them, in this case Puerto Rico and Isidro Metapan.
Exactly. Points on the board is the most important thing in any type of competition, and if you can get points, rather than saying, okay, I got games in hand, you would take those points any day. I know Bruce Arena's like that. All the times that I've talked with him, it's all about what you have at the time, because you can never guarantee what's going to happen later on. And so having games at home, getting 3 points, getting another 3 points, hopefully against the Puerto Rico Islanders, Galaxy in a very strong position to move through to the next round.
I think the one facet of the game that you have to look at, which LA will hope will continue in that game against Puerto Rico, is the midfield. The connections in the midfield have been much better, and the way that they have set the tempo in the game, been able to dictate what type of pace and hold possessions, has been much better in the past weeks.
Well, that is a testament to the quality of players on the field with the Galaxy right now. And I will continue to harp on this and how strong the bench is. Bruce Arena has done a great job of bringing in quality players, not only through that first 11, but moving down the line and being able to switch in players in and out. As you go through, that's the one thing that people have to realize about Champions League. It's not just about Champions League. It's also about the league play that you have, because you have to be able to balance out all these different games. And as they do so, players that usually don't start are going to have to get into those starting positions and perform. And they've done that, especially through those midfield positions.
Finally, how much do players inside the locker room, you've been there both as a coach under Bruce Arena and as a player, how much are they talking about we need to kind of play the tempo and be able to manage the minutes, because there's so many games going down the stretch, not just in CONCACAF, but also in MLS play?
Well, I think everybody knows it. I'm sure that is actually coming down from the top about managing players' minutes, giving the players the right amount of time, and also exposing some players to time and giving them an opportunity to play. That's so important, because it's a tit-for-tat situation. You actually want players to get some time during Champions League so that they're ready for league play, as you move towards the playoffs, but you also want to give players times in league play so that as Champions League moves on and you get into those important knockout stages, that they're ready to step up and play.
All right, it's a very important game for the Galaxy as they go for their 2nd straight win in Group 5 play. They'll do it against the Puerto Rico Islanders here at the Home Depot Center, August the 29th. It's a 7 p.m. kickoff right here at the Home Depot Center. For Cobi Jones, I'm Mark Rogondino. That's this week's CONCACAF Champions League update.